Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. and Lady, I am your host, Germ, and I want to say thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Kinetic Aesthetic. Today, I just wanted to talk to y'all about something disturbing that I saw in the news very recently. It happened just the other day. I am, as you all know, I'm a bit of a nerd. I'm a big fan of wrestling. I'm a big fan of a lot of geeky things like that. And very recently in the wrestling world, at an independent show, this was not a WWE affiliated show. I guess loosely WWE affiliated. Their little training program they have. The school is affiliated. Long story short, at a indie wrestling event called Knox Pro, there was an incident where I'm not going to call this guy a celebrity. He's more like an influencer. He's the son of MMA fighter Rampage Jackson, Quentin Rampage Jackson, Hall of Fame, or at least he had a Hall of Fame career worthy in the UFC. And basically, just last night, his son was invited to the show. It's an indie wrestling show. He goes there, he shows up. I guess somehow he got backstage where all the wrestlers were and he was interacting with one of them, a man by the name of Psycho Stu. I don't know too much about him per se at the moment, but from what I've been able to gather, just looking at his Instagram account and things like that, he is a former soldier. He's a veteran. Just a pro wrestler at this point. He decided to go down that route. He apparently suffers from PTSD, and he uses professional wrestling as a way to help him cope and to help him just deal with that. And so he saw Rampage Jackson's son. His name is Raja, so I'm going to be referring to him as Raja for the rest of the video. He sees Raja. He sees they just got a camera with him. He figures he must be a wrestler, so he goes up and decides to, try to work with him. And I'm assuming a lot of y'all are not going to understand what that means. So for those not in the know, working is what professional wrestlers call it when they are just going about their business. Whenever you see two pro wrestlers having a showdown where they're talking shit to each other, where they're in the ring with the mics in their hands, or if they're fighting each other, they call that working. For lack of a better term. And so he sees Raja. He thinks that he's working since he's got a camera with him. And he starts talking shit to him. He takes a beer can that was gimmicked. By gimmicked, I mean it was already messed with, already fake, and he just smashed into his head. And again, I want to reiterate, he thinks that this is all a work. He thinks that this kid is not just a regular person. Raja gets upset. He's, yo, don't do that. I'm not losing this. Everybody has to calm him down, and they all make it clear to him, yo, this is a work. And once Stu hears this and understands that, he goes out of his way. He apologizes. He says, my bad, I didn't know. And Raja shakes his hand. I want y'all to keep that in mind. I want that to be something that you remember about the story going forward. Raja shakes this man's hand, says, I understand that you're just working. Everything is good. The promoter decides, you know what? I'm going to let you go in and get a receipt. I'm going to go and let you go in and work with this guy during the match so you'll be able to do a run-in. And I've seen people try to get mad at the promoter, but the more I think about it, the more I understand and the more you would like to think, you know what? That's not a bad thing. It's somebody who has somewhat of a name, even if it's not too big of a name. Raja and his father, Rampage, they had recently gotten into the streaming platform Kick. We'll talk about that later. And that's how they've been, just building buzz for themselves. They've been streaming on Kick. And so they probably see him coming. They see he's got the camera. They're thinking to themselves, okay, we can get a little extra promotion out of this, some buzz, some publicity. And that's the point where everybody thinks everything is good. Now, while all the wrestlers and the promoter and everybody else is thinking, okay, this is good, let's work past that. He'll have his run-in later. He'll get his receipt. He'll be able to, make it look good and do something later with him. Raja is still streaming. He streams this entire everything. I'm going to include the whole video that breaks down everything that happened inside in the link in the description. So please go ahead and click it if you want to have any more clarification for yourself. But he records himself doing all of this, and he has his chat. I don't know what the chat was telling him. When you have in real life streamers, they have chats that are just usually, especially IRL streamers, they are usually horrible people who are in there chatting with them, telling them, encouraging them to do a bunch of dumb shit and a bunch of horrible shit. IRL streamers, I'm going to be honest with you, are usually losers in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. He is at the show. While you would think he would just be enjoying the show, getting ready for his part, the entire time, this man is focused on his chat. He is literally spending the entire time the show is going on. He's spending more time talking into his little mic about how he's telling his chat, I'm going to get my receipt. I'm going to get my get back. I'm going to beat him up for real. When I'm getting there, it's not going to be fake. And he's just saying a whole bunch of shit and literally just spelling it out about what he was planning and what he was going to do. going out of his way to just tell on himself. Again, I don't understand what is up with this new generation and just snitching on yourself and not thinking that just because that you're doing something on stream. I don't understand why niggas don't realize that what they're doing illegal shit on stream is just the most brain dead decision. But he does all that. He tells on himself the whole time. And then when Stu is in his match, when everything is supposed to be, when the match was already over, I believe this was a post-match beatdown that they had planned where the bad guys come out, beat up the baby faces, which are the good guys, and then he was going to come in, Raja meaning, and he was going to just be the big, influencer person that comes in and helps out, real MMA fighter, and do all that. Decides, okay, this is his cue. So it looks normal at first. He jumps in the ring, picks the guy up, and has him over his shoulders. Now, I want to be clear about this. Did not do anything to fight back, did not do anything to sort of, protect himself, because Stu was under the impression that this guy was working with them, that he was that he was going to be a part of the angle. And what they call an angle, they call that basically a scene. Basically like after there's a wrestling match and then if there's an angle afterwards, they call that just like a little cut scene afterwards. So he thinks that he's part of this. He's just working with us. He's not going to go overboard or go do too much. This man slams him as hard as he fucking can to the mat. It's unforgiving. I know people want to say wrestling is fake. It's not. It does not feel good to just take a flat back bump on a mat. He slams him. This man is visibly knocked out after this slam. Stu is already gone. Raja gets on top of him, and this is an MMA fighter, is just teeing off on him, beating the shit out of him, and gets at least 20 punches off. Unprotected to this man, headshots. Just the most bitch-made, hoe-ass, weak-ass, just pussy-ass shit you could have done possible in this situation from a nigga that wants to claim that wants to just claim he's an MMA fighter, and he decides to go about it that way. Beats the shit out of him. The entire locker room that was back there apparently has to come out damn near, hold this man back because he's losing his shit and just getting all emotional like a bitch. They have to basically force him out of there. He's getting walked out the whole time. Some wrestlers has tried to come after them afterwards, trying to jump them, as they should have. I'll be honest with you. It's a type of beatdown to where somebody should have shot the motherfucker. But all of this is happening, and he's just going, I'm not no bitch. Y'all ain't no shit. And he's 25, so I can't even call him a kid. This grown-ass man-child just has a lot of emotional issues that are undealt with. And it's unhinged. It was disturbing. And I'm not one that likes to, shit on people. I know everybody can have a bad moment, but this was it's left a bad taste in my mouth, because it's one thing to me when you are in the heat of the moment where maybe he did just smash the can over you so you can't control it, so you just throw a punch or you smack a motherfucker. This man shook the guy's hand, went to go sit down, talk shit to his chat about what he was going to go do, then got off his bitch ass seat and went and goes and just back blindsided the dude. It's the most bitch made. There's words that I want to use, but I can't use because I just can't use them on this podcast. But what the dude did was just such cowardice. And I don't understand what it is. I don't understand what it is with this new generation and just not having emotional maturity, not having the wherewithal to just understand maybe this isn't a good idea. I just don't. I don't know where to begin. Rampage Jackson ended up coming out with a statement. I'm gonna read it to y'all. It's just terrible. This is Rampage Jackson from his Twitter, X, whatever the fuck it's supposed to be called now. Let me read it to you now. And I quote, I want to clear up the misinformation about my son Raja. I've been confirmed that the wrestler, Stuart Smith, aka Psycho Stu, is awake and stable. Raja was unexpectedly hit in the side of the head by him moments before Smith's match. That's a lie. That was not moments before. This man was sitting in the show the whole time and he had plenty of time. It was all premeditated. This is already just like falsity number one. Raja was told that he could get his payback in the ring. I thought it was part of the show. It was bad judgment and a work that went wrong. Raja is an MMA fighter and not a pro wrestler and had no business being involved in an event like this. I don't condone my son's actions at all. He suffered a concussion from sparring only days ago and had no business doing anything remotely close to physical contact. As a father, I'm deeply concerned with his health and the well-being of Mr. Smith. That being said, I'm very upset that any of this happened, but my main concern now is that Mr. Smith will make a speedy recovery. I apologize on his behalf and to Kick for the situation. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, I'm not going to go too deep on Rampage Jackson himself because that is your son. God forbid I ever have a child and they do something remotely even similar to this. I don't understand how I'm going to. I don't know what else you can do other than say something like that. When you watch the video and you see him afterwards in the aftermath as he's just with nobody but his cameraman, he's just walking around pacing himself trying to just process everything that he just did. You just see a young man that has so much emotional trauma and baggage that he was a ticking time bomb. The way he reacted, the way that he just decided to go about that is some weird shit. Like it's still been sticking with me since I've seen this video on Saturday night. Just what the fuck causes you to just have that type of reaction and then plan to go do that? It's the literal definition of what you call crashing out. This young man needs to be in prison. And I'm not trying to, I don't wish jail on nobody, but when you do something like that to a motherfucker, when you are that out of control when it comes to your own emotions and your own just state of mind, you are a danger to society and this motherfucker needs to not be in society. MMA fighters are already like, I've already just have personal feelings that that's just not that that's usually like the type of people that are in that type of field, and I don't want to just shit on all of them because I know everybody not everybody that's an MMA fighter is on some Conor McGregor or some Raja Jackson type shit, but there just needs to be something to be said, and there just needs to be a lot of repercussions for this. This man almost died. This video is attempted murder, and I don't give a damn how you feel about anything that happened to Raja. I don't give a damn about how you feel about the dude taking the beer can. The simple fact of the matter is, if he had a real problem with it, you do that shit at that moment. You don't shake a man's hand, act like everything is cool, then go back and sit in your seat and wait for the fucking moment, sitting there plotting yourself the whole time like a little bitch about how you're gonna do that because you're not a bitch. The irony of this situation is this man sitting there claiming to himself, screaming at the fucking chat, I ain't no bitch, I ain't no bitch, I'm tired of everybody thinking I'm a bitch, and then going and proceeding to do the most bitch-made hoe-ass shit that you can possibly do. Fuck Rampage Jackson. Fuck Raja Jackson. Fuck him. I hope that this man, Psycho Stu, is able to make a recovery. I hope he's able to make one very, very quickly, and I hope that he's not having too much permanent damage from this shit. I hope that Raja Jackson is. I hope they arrest this man as soon as possible. And you know what? I'm not gonna condemn him all the way. I hope he's able to get some help. I hope he's able to get rehabilitation. But I hope he's able to get it in a place that he deserves and away from anybody else that he could genuinely harm. With this being said, I do want to actually talk about the platform that he was on that was promoting all of this, Kick. Now, Kick is already in the news. For those of you who have not heard, there has already been somebody who was literally tortured. There was a French streamer who literally was murdered on stream by people that he was doing some type of live stream with, and the chat was egging it on from what I've read and understand. We are getting to a point with IRL stream, well, just streaming in general, where we just need to really like get a hold and get this shit under control. If you have kids, make sure you're just monitoring if they're even into streaming or who they're watching, because there's a lot of weird shit out there. Kick is a very, very, I will say just anybody that's on Kick, you should probably not be watching or not checking for it, because Kick is just, as you can already tell from the situation that they have going on over here, it's very unregulated. They allow a lot of the racist, just misogynistic, just BS and a whole bunch of other just crap that goes on there that you can't do on Twitch. That's why a lot of guys go over there. But that weirdo motherfucker Aiden Ross is on Kick. So just to give you a good example. And we just got to get this streaming shit under control, because I used to be the type that would think that it would be cool to get in the stream and everything like that, but I just not. It just leaves it just has a very weird vibe. I'm starting to see that with a lot of these streamers that we have coming up right now. All of them are just either, I just feel like they're corny, they try too hard, or they're just pieces of shit, like the motherfuckers in this situation. I think we just need to get back to just enjoying regular entertainment. I don't understand what it is that people even enjoy about streamers. I don't understand. Maybe it's the relatability of just seeing someone live their life. Again, I don't understand what the appeal of that is. I feel like if you are watching somebody live their life and if you're not watching a streamer, if you're watching a streamer do anything that isn't like playing a video game or maybe having a serious discussion about politics or philosophy or something that could actually like use to feed your brain, maybe talking about of a religion or anything like that, what the fuck are you doing What are you going to them for? What do you gain from watching someone go about their regular everyday life and just record it? I don't mean to call people out to insult them, but what is going on in your life to where you feel like you need to get entertainment from that? The people that are on that were on that kick stream, I just really would love to just look at them and just be like, what do you gain from sitting here trying to tell this man that he's a bitch for accepting this man's apology and not just crashing out over some dumb shit? Because I just wanted to be clear, I don't think that Roger Jackson is the only person that's on a kick that has chats that are just encouraging them to crash out. We've already got people that are already on that side. I want to say his name was Johnny Somali, another just abhorrent piece of shit who just literally got famous because he was going around to Asian countries making a fool out of himself and just being a douchebag, just being a complete piece of shit. And right now, he's already been dealt with. I believe he was arrested in Japan and in Korea, and he got jumped multiple times while he was in Korea and just was getting his ass beat. But in South Korea, I should say. But I just feel like we just need to do something about these people. I think Kick needs to be banned as a platform. I think that we need to look into doing something about putting more regulations, about putting more rules in place, because there's just nothing good about people being allowed to just gain a following, about being able to gain money from going around doing this type of shit. There's no there's nothing to gain, there's nothing to even offer. And as we can see right now, all of it's doing is leading to a lot of people getting hurt, getting harassed, or being abused, or even being killed. Kick offers nothing. Twitch, honestly, if you're not watching a motherfucker, like I said, play video games, do something that's actually entertaining. If you're watching anyone just regularly live their life, I really think you need to look in the mirror and you need to go find something interesting to do with your life. But that's all I've got. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm just a guy who's sitting here trying to tell y'all to go out and do something with your lives so that you don't have to, so you don't spend your whole life watching other people live theirs. Not that there's anything bad with listening to people. You should always be able to listen, but not just whatever the fuck they do. But this has been Kinetic Aesthetic. I just wanted to talk to y'all about that right quick. Make sure you like, subscribe on whatever that you're listening to me in on. And y'all just have a good rest of your day. And yeah, stay away from IRL streamers. This is your boy Germ. This is Kinetic Aesthetic. I'm out.